Hello everybody, MD Polo here. Thank you for joining me. On the table today, we're going to take a look at two pistols that in some ways are very similar, and in others they are very different. Recently, Big Johnson Guns and Gear uploaded a video contrasting his Shpinx SDP, which is going to be very similar to the Shpinx here on your right, against his highly customized CZ P07. As you may know from prior videos that I've uploaded, I'm a big fan of the Shpinx, and I have been for quite some time. I own two of them, and I just couldn't be happier with those pistols. I did do some modifications to those, and those came from ZR Tactical Solutions nearby in Noblesville, Indiana. He's one of the best guys around for anything that is for the Shpinx or for the Shpinx. Just a magician with these pistols. I haven't had it to do anything to the Shpinx. So that may tell you something right there. The Shpinx comes from the same team that designed the Shpinx. And after the, let's call it a divorce that took place between the creators of the Shpinx and Chris USA, you can learn more about that in my prior videos, the team gathered their best gunsmiths, went back to Switzerland, a little town outside of Interlaken, which happens to be one of my favorite towns in Switzerland, and started back from scratch. Thus the name Shpinx, rising from the ashes. And it's a name that is very meaningful, has a lot of personal value to the owner of Shpinx. In his own words, Shpinx, the project of developing this pistol, the Shpinx Redback, the other fusions, he was able now to continue where he left off with the Shpinx. He always felt the Shpinx was never finished, never got it to where he wanted it to be. And now he feels that they're getting there, and they're almost there, with the Shpinx line of pistols. So why are we contrasting these two pistols? And by the way, for our YouTube censors, both pistols have been safety checked. We're in a professional controlled environment, and no modifications have been done to this pistol, to either pistol, during the filming of this video. So if you have a problem with this, I'd like to know why. Getting that out of the way, I want to contrast first some of the specs on both pistols so you get an idea of where both stand, and then I'm going to tell you, hopefully in a short version, which one I like more and why. Now, like everything else, it's going to be a matter of personal preference, and what your budget allows, and what the purpose of use is. So starting with a P07, and by the way, both of them are chambered in 9mm, has a original capacity of 15+1, and comes with two metal mags. The Shpinx, this is the model, is called the Fusion TA Carry, and it comes with 17-round capacity, although they do make more of a carry model, which is also comparable to this on a 15+1, but that one is not in the US yet. So what we do have, and this is very similar to the Shpinx SDP, and in which they have 17+1 capacity with 3 metal mags. Going back to the P07, you have a barrel of 3.75 inches, is a cold hammer forged barrel. And on the Shpinx, you've got a 4.54 inch barrel, so a little bit longer barrel on the Shpinx. Both slides are stainless. The frame on the CZ is polymer, and the frame, this part of the pistol right here, is aluminum. So here you got stainless slide, let's call it aluminum lower, and a polymer grip. With a CZ, of course, you got the stainless slide, and you got everything else below that is polymer. Overall length on the CZ, you got 7.2 inches versus 8.2 inches on the Shpinx. So you got 1 inch longer on the Shpinx. Height-wise, the Shpinx, of course, is going to be a little bit bigger as well. We got 5.3 inches on the CZ, and you got 6.29 inches on the Shpinx, and that's going to be because of the 17-round capacity that this brings to the table. When you're looking at the width, gets interesting. Even though the Shpinx is a bigger pistol, it's actually the thinner of the two. You may be able to see it there. The width on the CZ on your left is going to be 1.46 inches, and on the right with a Shpinx is going to be 1.06 inches. So just a tad over an inch wide. So this actually is a very comfortable pistol to carry, even though it is heavier because the CZ comes in weighing at 27.7 ounces with an unloaded mag, and the Shpinx comes in at 31.36 ounces. And that's due to the metal, aluminum, let's call it alloy, lower that you've got up here. So a little bit heavier, thinner, more capacity, a little bit bigger footprint. As far as the action is concerned, the CZ comes in with the Omega double action, single action, and the Shpinx is also a double action pistol. Comparing the triggers, and let's just double check that it's unloaded, even though they are. I already checked it. And I don't like to dry fire hammer fired pistols without a dummy round in their snap cap, but having the snap cap, the mag, it makes it very difficult around the tripod to show your resets or anything like that. So double action, and with this, and we already checked it, with the CZs, normally I have a hard time reaching the trigger because the distance between the backstrap and the trigger shoe itself tends to be a little bit bigger because of the curvature of the hook. And I have medium-sized hands, and I have a hard time reaching it. But with the CZ P07 with the Omega, it's got a little bit more of a less of a hook trigger, and I don't have that much of a difficult time reaching it. So I got no problem here. And the pull, as it comes from the factory, at least this one when it came from the factory, the double action came in at 12 pounds. So let's take a look at that there. And that's your double action. You come here, there's your wall, then you pull, breaks right there. Then you can also do it, you can decock it. This comes with a decocker right here, or you can also change it and have a safety and carry it cocked and locked. It's got the decocker. When you decock it, you're at a 3/4 cock. You come here, you're at the wall, and it's a very nice, easy pull, and I'll explain why in a second. But with a 3/4 cock, let's call it that, your pull is coming in at 9 pounds. And now when we go back to single action, if you're there, you're absolutely at the wall right there, and just a wonderful break. And this is pulling at 3 pounds, the way it sits right now, and I'll explain why. So very, very nice. Putting this aside for a second. And we go to the Shpinx, remove the mag, and once again, we're going to check that it's safe, and it is. So here you go, and you've got double action. Now double action, we're coming in at 8.16 pounds. Remember, this one had 12 from the factory, and this one's coming in at 8.16 pounds. But very nice. And talk about the reach, the grip, the ergonomics, and we'll go through that. It's in a way that it allows me, see if you can see here, it just gives you, you got the cut in right here. It allows my hand to get much deeper into the gun, even though they have very similar footprints as far as the beaver tails, as you can see there. It allows me to get much deeper into the pistol. So for me, reaching the trigger here is absolutely no problem whatsoever. So I get here, hopefully the light is cooperating. I'm trying a new camera, a new light. But you get, I'm there, you pull. Let me show you that again. There you are. Now I'm at the wall, break. Very smooth. It really, you don't feel anything. It's like glass. I don't know if the microphone is catching that. But it's just, you don't feel anything. There's no friction, there's nothing. Can you hear that? So there is a difference. You just don't hear anything. It's wonderful. So it's coming in double action at 8.16 pounds. And also, you can see the similarities in the controls. They're obviously there. So you also can decock this one. The decocker is right here. And it sends it to 3/4 cock, let's call it that. And that one, it's pulling very nicely at 5.5 pounds. So 9 pounds decocked, 5.5 pounds decocked. Now the single action with a Shpinx, you're right here. Try to get the best light there. And again, it is just butter. You hit the wall right there, instant break. And it's just so much lighter, crisper. Just it's hard. I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what I'm trying to get across. Losing my words here. But when you feel that hammer drop, when you pull that trigger, first of all, like I said, there is just nothing there. It's just smooth like butter. And then when it breaks, it's just solid. Just hear the click. It's almost 1911 type of, from a custom 1911. That feel that you get when the trigger breaks and the hammer drops, that's what I feel here. I don't feel that here. You pull, it's just different. It's just different. This feels like a good polymer hammer trigger, hammer fall. Losing my words again. This feels like a very good 1911 fall. Just very nice. So this came from the factory YouTube with the Shield RMS red dot. You can see there. So it's got the ability to co-witness in the back, which is very nice. And I've got some form of astigmatism in my eyes, and for some reason I can see the Shield RMS sight much better, as much crisper dot than I can on the Holosun that I've put here on the CZ P07. It's the Holosun 407 and 407C. I just liked it. I didn't think that for me the money was worth, it was worth the extra money to get the 507 with a circle reticle and all that. So we put the front sight, we put it in front of the red dot in order to move the red dot as far back as possible. So I've got co-witness, suppressor height sight, I'm sorry. So I do have full co-witness, as you can see there. Trying to see if you can see it better. There you go. It's kind of hard around the tripod. Let's see if I can do it. There you go. So anyway, you can see it there. And this would be your view from the Shpinx. There you go. That was a little easier. So for my eyes, I'm not saying it's the best one of the two. I'm not saying it's going to be the most durable of the two. But for my eye, I can see the dot much better with a Shield. Crisper, rounder. So where is this leading us? When it comes out of the box stock, it's normal MSRP, $535, plus the red dot, of course. The Shpinx, $2,000 with the red dot. Well, that's an enormous delta, and how do you compare them? Well, I just did. But in order to get this, I made a video that I uploaded not too long ago that I called it the CZ P07. It's finally perfect for me. May not be for you, but it's finally perfect for me. What did I mean by that? Well, I put the red dot. I added the suppressor height sights. We stippled the front and rear of the grip and installed the Cajun Gunworks Defensive Package Trigger Kit. All right, so where does that put us? Now the trigger, if we're looking back at the specs, the trigger, the double action that was originally 12 pounds, it came down to 7 pounds. The half cock pull came down from 9 pounds to 6 pounds, and the single action pull came down to 3 pounds. It stayed at 3 pounds actually, just got smoother. So now with that upgrade, we've got double action to double action. We got 7, remember CZ is on your left. We got 7 pounds versus 8.16. We got 6 pounds in 3/4 cock versus 5.5 on the Phoenix. In the single action stayed at 3 pounds on the CZ with 3.3 pounds on the Phoenix. But those 3.3 pounds are a lot smoother, a lot more crisp. Okay, so we're getting closer, right? We got the expense of the sights, the red dot, the trigger kit, the stippling of the grip. Where does that put us after all that? By the way, this is the Shield RMS Mini Shot M-Spec 4 MOA red dot. The Holosun is the 407C 2 MOA, and that's $250. So where are we? $550 for the CZ P07, $250 for the red dot, $200 plus installation. I didn't include the installation for the Cajun Gunworks Defensive Package trigger, $110 for the suppressor height sights, $50 for the +2 mag, and $150 for the stippling. So overall, we've got $1,300 invested in the P07 versus $2,000 on the Phoenix. So $700, we got a $700 delta, and yes, that is a very big difference. Is it worth it? And I'm going to circle back to the video from Bink Johnson Guns and Gear. And by the way, you're going to find his video link in the description below, as well as a link to his channel. You should check him out. He's got some pretty amazing pistols and very good videos. Is it worth it? What he said was, do you want a Rolex or do you want a Timex? They both tell time. They'll both get the job done. And I've made that type of analogy before in my videos showcasing the Phoenix versus other pistols, especially the Redback and the other Fusion Standard. I compared it to a Bentley. Do you want to drive a Bentley or do you want to drive a Lincoln? They're both going to get you at the same place. They both can drive 50 miles per hour. That's what you want to do. They both have 4 doors or 2 doors, whatever, but you get the point. If your budget allows only for this, it's a fantastic pistol at $550, 500, whatever you can get it from now, 600 with its inflated prices. If you want a Bentley, you got this. There's really no comparison once you get them both together. The people that say, I would never buy a Phoenix, I would never spend $2,000, I'd rather spend $550 and keep the $1,500 in my pocket. Perfect. It's all personal choice. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. What I am telling you is that the people that make those comments, most of them have never either held a Phoenix or a Shpinx, and certainly they've never fired one. When you grab and you start racking slides and you feel them, it's a world of difference. How the smoothness, how it feels, even looking at them. I hope the light is cooperating. If you can see just how it's made, how everything fits, the landing grooves here on both sides, the memory pads for indexing, just how everything fits together, the fit and finish. If you look in the back, it's very similar to a 1911. It's just so tight. And I mean, nothing rattles. So let's take a look at the P07. And by the way, ZR Tactical Solution did a fantastic job in the stippling. We left the sides alone. I put a little bit of Talon grip tape up here because it's smooth. And so I wanted a little bit of texture up here. But the front stipple job is just very, very well done. His turnaround time is very good as well. If you're taking a look, see, you do have the index pads up here as well. But let me see if I can show you this. You can see the difference between the two. See if we can, I'm not sure if you can see the texture of the on the Shpinx. The Shpinx just looks like a custom pistol versus the CZ that looks and feels like a production pistol. Is that worth $700 to you? Maybe, maybe not. Either decision is good. They're both fantastic pistols. I can tell you that as much as I love this, let you walk around a little bit. By the way, the back straps are replaceable. You just take out this pin. This whole part here pops out, and you can pop in the medium, large, small, whichever one fits your hand the best. The CZ originally does come with a replaceable back strap here, but since we stippled it, it's just now the way it is fits for my hand. We left it with the medium. They both disassemble the same way. They both have the line back here, and you know what we need to do there. So taking a look here, the lines right there. And again, I'm not sure if I can do this around the camera. And this is pretty tight because they're pretty new. Let me pop this. Let me go around the camera and pop this, please. There you go. So this pops, pin comes out, and this slide should just come straight out. So I'll let you take a look at it. This is the inside of the Shpinx. Hope the camera's catching it correctly. There you go. And now let's take apart the CZ. This one should be a lot easier. It's not as tight. There you go. Let me take a look at both of them. Again, the Shpinx is going to be on your right, the CZ on your left, obviously. You can see the differences, how they're put together. How everything inside of the Shpinx has been polished. You don't see that on the CZ. Putting this aside, we're going to take a look at the inside of the two. You can see a little bit more of a beefy construction. So I'll show you the differences there. More of a beefy construction on the Shpinx. Similar designs. Move this out of the way. And this video is already longer than I planned on it, so my apologies for that, but we got going here, disassembling stuff. I'm not a lefty. So let's take a look at both barrels. Very beefy barrels. Both polished feed ramps. You can see there's a little bit more meat on the feed ramp on your right, which is from the Shpinx, but both very nicely made. The two guide rods. I have a video because I had an issue with a guide rod on the CZ where this little screw was coming undone and actually caused a pretty severe malfunction. And let's take a look at the inside of the rails, of the slides. Just both very nicely made. Not the same, but very similar. And let's put them back together and see how this cooperates around the camera. Just like that. There we are. And also, you know, the rail system where the slide goes, the rails are on the inside, which is easier to do when you're not around the camera. And then again, you line up see the daylight. Here you go, check for function. We're good. And on the CZ the same way. Barrel, guide rod. You see the rails also right on the inside. Line up the notches. And my hands are covered with oil. Where are we here? There we are. Test for function, and we're back together. So I hope that shows you the similarities, the differences between these two pistols. Now they're covered with oil, so those are the smudges that you're going to see. $700 Delta as they sit. Is it worth it to you? I would like for you to tell me. Have you ever handled, shot a Shpinx? What are your thoughts? This pistol is staying with me. I'm never going to sell it. And I feel the same way about that. Completely different shooting experiences. They feel different in the hand. When you're holding this, it just feels you're holding a piece of plastic. When you hold this and you handle it, it fits better in my hand. It's a little bit thinner. You can get the undercut. There's another thing we didn't talk about is that you can see the undercut on the grip here that goes into the trigger guard. It is just very, very nice. I can get deeper. So between the undercut and a deeper cut in here under the beaver tail, I can get much deeper into this this pistol. So this feels like I'm holding a custom gun. This feels like I'm holding a production gun. I'm driving a Bentley. I'm driving a Lincoln or a Ford, whatever you like. It is different. If it's worth it for you, I'd like to know. I can tell you that it is worth it for me. That's it, guys. I actually thought this video was going to be around 10-15 minutes. I went double. I got into it, so I hope you stuck around, and I thank you for that. Please don't forget to check out Big Johnson Guns and Gear. His video link is below, as well as his channel. And please also keep in mind that I upload videos every Friday morning, and when I can on Wednesday mornings as well. Now more than ever, please don't forget to pray for our country. It really needs it. Check me out on Instagram. There you can see most of what's coming down the pipeline for the channel before it hits YouTube. Thank you one more time, and until next time, God bless.